Hello, Knockouts. Tanya TKO here. And we are getting started. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just decided to come live real quick. This is just going to be a random live video. There's no topic. We're just shooting the breeze. Shooting the breeze, talking about nothing really while I get ready to make a video. Because we're actually getting ready to... I'm getting ready to create a video as just a public service to some of my sisters. I've been getting a lot of collaboration requests lately. And so, hello everybody, welcome, welcome. I am Tanya TKO. I am a self-love specialist from TanyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourself and one another. On this channel, we typically use viral video topics as teachable moments in our own lives. And oh my goodness, you know how some people say, how do you sleep at night? Oh my goodness, last night I slept so well. I'm just putting some shea butter on my hands right now. Last night I slept so well. That broadcast that we did yesterday, so let me just tell you what's going on right now. Right now I'm broadcasting live on 3 different channels. My Tanya TKO live channel on YouTube, the Tanya TKO TV channel on YouTube, and the Tanya TKO show channel on Facebook, right? So each 3 of these channels serve different purposes. And so I just wanted to just shoot the breeze a little bit. Good morning. I'm just going to be putting on makeup this morning. I've been doing, if you all don't know about these facial lymph massages, I've been doing some facial lymph massages and it really has done something for me. So I suggest anybody try them. They're free. You just massage your face and you're supposed to move around, you know, whatever is going on under the surface, right? And so I tried that the other day and my face feels good. I feel good. I will be autographing the new books when they come in. Oh, you know what, as a matter of fact, thank you. I have all types of books and stuff in my, then I done dropped them because my hands are slippery with oil. Lord of mercy. I'll fix that. I'll fix it afterwards. I'll fix it after. But anyway. So good morning, everybody. Good morning. So on the Tanya TKO live channel is where we typically shoot the live videos for the show. So after I get off of here, I will be shooting a live video that will be shot on the Tanya TKO live channel on YouTube, right? Those videos are then edited and uploaded to Tanya TKO TV as well as Facebook, right? So if you want to be a part of the conversation and the discussion, you will be on the Tanya TKO live page because that's where the videos are filmed live, right? And if you want to see the edited version, if you're not really down for all of the mistakes that happen, you know, the reshoots and all of that happen live, you just watch it on Facebook or on Tanya TKO TV on YouTube, right? It's very simple. So you know how people were like, oh, how do you sleep at night? Oh my goodness, I sleep so well. Yesterday, we did an expose of some man who was trolling me, right? Not even trolling. He was just being obnoxious and just demanding your girl's attention. So we got him some attention, all right. We got him some attention. And then, much like anything frowsy, it dissipates when it comes to light. So then he started sending his little cronies over to the page to defend him. One person who calls herself a Black woman in particular. And this is just random conversation. And this particular woman just going on about how she knows him so well and he really loves Black people and all this other foolishness, right? And it dawned on me how behind any situation where abuse occurs and is ongoing, there are people around who make excuses for the abuser. So basically this woman, I guess she came out. It's on the video posts from yesterday. So I guess she came out to give license to the abuser to continue to abuse. It's very strange, actually. But that's what she decided to do with her time. I called her a Mamie archetype, but that's another story. Because I realized that so many of these Black men are excused into bad behavior by Black women with these capes on. So this man has the license to go out abusing and then have people come up. Like, what was I do? What did I do to that man? I'm sitting there making videos that ain't got nothing to do with his Black ass. And then we have another one in the comments over there, some Nigerian dude who is going around mocking Black Americans for not knowing where they come from. And I'm like, nigga, don't you know it's your fucking conquered ass, motherfucking colonized ass fucking ancestors that helped Europeans traffic other Africans, and this is how we got here. And now his Black ass is over here in the United States reaping the benefits and the rewards of African Americans who endured the torture in this barbaric heathen of a land from these psychopathic Europeans who tortured us. And now he's bragging about how his white wife cooks jollof rice when we already saw that viral video of that red slop that woman was cooking, calling it jollof. We saw that, SHIT. But nonetheless, so he's in the comments mocking African Americans for not knowing which tribe they're from. And I'm like, nigga, don't you get it? It's your colonized ass, conquered ass ancestors that sold us. And many African Americans don't know where they come from because of the original conquered Black man. So it's like, come on now, son. Let's not pretend like this is not what it is. And then the sad part about it, I'll tell you this, many Africans don't know. They have been taught, and it's like a vicious cycle. They've been taught in European schools who give their version of history. And they talk about how African Americans are lazy. Meanwhile, Europeans were sitting on their flat white asses over here, forcing other people to do work for them, working their muscles to the bone, like ripping off the bones. Like there's this Joy DeGruy, right? She makes videos and she wrote a book about post-traumatic slave syndrome. They looked up the bodies inside of a cemetery. They have burial grounds for Africans all across this country. One of them was in New York, down in the area where City Hall is, of all places, because I guess what they did is they changed like the auction blocks into the courthouses, and then they changed the enslaved people wranglers into the police, and so it's a wide big thing. But nonetheless, they looked at the bodies of these dead Africans, and their muscles were ripped from the bones. They were worked so hard that the muscles dislodged from the bones. That's how hard they were worked. And these people then have the nerve to turn around and call the Black Americans, quote unquote, lazy. But nonetheless, so we got these, so he's up and down in the comments mocking African Americans for not knowing where they come from. And it's embarrassing because it just shows that there's so many of us. For those of you who don't know, there's a documentary on Netflix called The Making of an African Colony. This is excellent education for anybody who would like to know where they come from. Most African Americans are of Nigerian descent, most of us, right? And to mock an African American for their ancestors being sold by your ancestors and then never rescued, it's like, look, Nigeria has some problems even till today. There's a lot of corruption, a lot of crazy things going on in Nigeria. So I used to ask, like when I went to Nigeria, I was like, why didn't anybody come and rescue us? Like, you sold your people. And it's like, listen, nobody has the right to sell another human being. You don't own a human being. You don't have a right to sell one, right? And so I'm like, you never came to rescue us. And then Nigerian people schooled me. While we were dealing with our tragedies over here, they were dealing with their tragedies over there. Like the European male came in and decimated so much of the motherland. And so we had physical binds, but over in Africa, the binds were mental. And many of them don't even know that they were harmed by these people. This is the sad part. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are live right now, and we're just shooting the breeze. There's no topic this morning. I'm just getting my makeup ready for when I go do a video this morning. So last night, so yesterday, right, I made that video just exposing that guy and how he was trying to abuse me in the comments. And abuse a person for what? How do you abuse a person for not having encountered their soulmate and entered into a soulmate union? Like, how? I don't even understand how that warrants abuse. Like, ha ha, you haven't found your soulmate. I mean, that just doesn't even make any sense, right? It just doesn't even make any sense. So nonetheless, we did that expose video exposing this man because he said he had all this time in the world yesterday to attack and belittle me. But meanwhile, remember when the man came out, he didn't have no smoke for the man. He wanted to instead just focus his attention on trying to kick Black women in the uterus, right? It's bizarre. And then his little mammified female friend came out last night to be like, oh, I've known him for more than 20 years. He's a good person. He really loves Black people. And it's like, this is how abusers are given license to abuse. And people don't understand folks who have narcissistic tendencies who sit back and play the victim like somebody's doing something to them. Meanwhile, they're the aggressor and they're feeding. This man said that he wanted to feed off of my pain. Like, really? And then here comes some mammified woman talking about how good he is. Listen, actions speak louder than words. What type of person says they want to feed off of another person's pain? Like, that's sick. That sounds sick to me. Does it sound all right to you? And listen, and I don't care if it, and Jana is saying, who are these people? Who said that? So I'm telling you who said it. So I did a video yesterday called Black Man, White Wife, FB Beef. So this guy decided to start some beef with me, coming out of nowhere, putting himself in front of people's purview. Don't nobody thinking about him, know him, and he coming out trying to get some. Should I smoky the eyes, or is this good enough for Rudolph? Should I smoky? I'll smoky it just a little. I know you all like the smoke. I know you all. I got to be careful because I'm wearing a white dress. You know, I typically do the black dress uniform, but I think during the holidays, I might do a white dress uniform for the holidays, but we shall see. I don't know, because, I like the black dress uniform because it stops people from commenting on my clothes. You know what I mean? It's like, as a woman, you have to do so much. So I just wear a uniform of that black dress and it stops people from commenting. They're not like, oh, what's this? Oh, this, I just wear the same thing. And I have several of those dresses and I just switch them around. Good morning, Black Butterfly. Good morning, Shade. Good morning, Sade, Ayana. And Summer saying, you got to be careful of energy vampires. They are everywhere. I have some powerful ancestors on my side. So I don't really worry about the vampires because they can't penetrate. Like I said, I slept so well last night. Yesterday's video, yeah, just a little bit of smoke. That's okay. Just a little smoke, no fire. Little smoke, no fire. Okay, so let me put a little bit of mascara on. I realized yesterday what some of these videos look like on a TV. On YouTube, and you know what? I always watch my videos on the phone or on a small laptop screen. But yesterday I watched it on a TV for the first time, and I realized that I got to do some different things, you know. because it's like you see so much detail. You can't really see that much detail on the phone, but you see so much detail. So I don't typically put on mascara, but I'm gonna put a little bit on today to the people watching from their TVs. Oh, but yeah, so I slept so well. Yesterday's video was so healing. And I don't know why it was so healing. Because we had a good laugh yesterday and I shook some things loose inside of myself. I don't know what it was that got shook loose, but it was the I don't know. I want some of you to tell me, why was that video so healing yesterday? Somebody has written a long comment. Okay, so Daryl is saying, let's see what Daryl is saying. Oh, it's covering up my whole face. Daryl is saying, oh, it's because Afro-Americans claim they can't progress forward in life, but someone from Africa can come to America with nothing and be CEO of a company within 20 years. Had to make sense of what you were saying first. So you're saying there are no Black CEOs in America because belong to an organization that has 3. I'm related to 5 whose CEOs. Yeah, there's a lot of ignorance in that statement, right? There's a lot of ignorance in that statement because it's a per capita thing, right? And then we also have to realize the type of person that comes to America is different than the type of person that stays in Africa, right? The type of person that comes to America already has some privilege. They have privilege of being able to afford that plane ticket. They have privilege of being able to have people on the ground to be able to sponsor and house them. They have the privilege of having parents who push them, and also they have the privilege of not being steeped in the brine. When you are born in this country, when you are born in the brine, you are born in those chains and bondage. So, like, look, I was on the ground in Nigeria and in Ghana. The typical person in Africa is not the same person that come like there were people, like I was giving some business advice to some, because like in Nigeria, the exchange rate is brutal. Like, listen to this. You could save up a naira every day for a year. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. Hear me. You could save up 1 naira every day for a year and still not have a US dollar. Every day for a year, you could save 1 naira and not have 1 US dollar. So I don't know what the exchange rate is today. When I was there, it was like 330, 360. And then it got worse. I heard it's in the 400s now. So it takes 400 and something naira to equal 1 US dollar. So no, I gave some business advice I was giving some business counseling to someone in Nigeria about things that they can do. Oh, I got little black flakes on my dress. I should have put something over my dress when I was doing that. Right? And he was not, his mind, he was so, listen, there are colonized minds in Africa. It takes a person with a certain amount of drive to be able to make it here. And then there are also people who come here and you think every African who comes here makes it? There's some Africans who come here highly educated and they end up driving cabs for 20 years. And then there are people in Africa who's like, what's wrong with you? You're in America. You ain't made it yet, right? So let's stop with this. Let's stop with this African American conflict, right? The African American situation is unique. It's unique. And you have the best that you can do is attempt to educate people into waking up. You cannot force a person to wake up, and it doesn't make sense to try to shame them for not being awake. I'm gonna try to put on a little bit of concealer. And as you see, when I make my videos, I don't typically put on foundation because I don't like the way foundation looks sometimes on camera. It just doesn't look as natural as skin. Like, skin has so many different, I don't know, it's just different. Right? So yeah, so Black Butterfly is saying the battle exhausts her. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's like it keeps us separated. This is why in my matchmaking service, I work on connecting Black American women with men from Africa and the diaspora who are in the United States. Because there is a different mentality. My father is not African American. And so his mentality was different. I am as successful as I am today because I was raised in a household with a parent who had a different paradigm. You know, I was listening to this psychologist speak about this study, right? And in the study, they put parents inside of a room and they put like a dummy inside of the room with the parents. And they had the children on the other side of a glass watching the parents. And the parents began to beat this dummy, right? They began to beat the dummy. And when they sent the parents out and they sent the children into the room, they didn't tell the children anything. They didn't tell the children what to do to the dummy. They said nothing to the children. They just took the parents out. The parents didn't interact with the children. They took the parents out into a different direction. They put the children into the room. And what do you think those children did to the dummy? Without any instruction or any prompting. I look for your comments. What do you think the children did to the dummy? I'm looking for your comments. There's a little bit of a lag, so I'll let that come in. But yeah, without any prompting, exactly. First person to say it is B. Irvin. Look. B. Irvin's first up. That's right. They beat it. Brit is coming in. Exactly. All of these answers coming in. Yes, this is exactly what happened. They just sent the children into the room. They didn't say anything to the children. But when the children went into the room, they began to beat the dummy. And the reason, so some people are asking, why did they beat the dummy? I mean, some of you can answer in the comments. Why do you think they beat the dummy? They beat the dummy because they saw their parents beat the dummy. And so that was their instruction on how things go, how you behave, what you do, how you treat a thing, right? So I'm going to tell you, my mother was African American, right? And I saw the very different perspective. This is why I think Africans, Caribbeans, and Americans need to date. I think everybody needs to be in an intercultural relationship because it's a paradigm shift. You need different types of friends. You need different types of people around you. My African American mother was raised in a household with an African American mother. And so my African American grandmother, she worked her fingers to the arthritic bone in white people's houses, cleaning up their houses. For a long time, and you all saw when I was in Mexico in 2015, I made a video where I had an epiphany because I had spent so much time ashamed, right? And it was when I had this epiphany that I realized the tremendous amount of strength that it took, strength and restraint and perseverance and power to be able to overcome that situation. But there are things that are taught to us by people who have endured great injustice, especially people who have never been able to get onto the other side of that injustice. And the possibility is different. My father was raised in the Caribbean, right? And things were different in the Caribbean. You see Black people navigating different in the Caribbean. For those of you who know, my father is Navision. I was actually telling my dad I wanted to do a video with him today. And my dad started busting out some jokes. I don't know if he's gonna behave himself. Because my father is like a comedian type of person. And he's so fun. He makes the family so lively. But sometimes it's hard to get him to be serious. Me, I came out so serious. My brother is so serious. My father is a comedian, right? I came out so serious. And sometimes you see, I'm comedic sometimes, but my father, he is the life of the party. He's always telling stories. And the crazy part about it is that I thought my father's stories were like fabrications until in 2007, I spent 6 months in Nevis. So, because you all know I was working on dual citizenship and living a different life and working off the grid. And this is why the pandemic has not affected me, because in 2007, I made the decision, or 2008 around then, I made the decision to change my life. I didn't want to be beholden to I'm looking for my blush. I can't find my blush. I don't know what happened to it. I can't find my blush. I just want a little bit of rosy, a little bit of rosé upon the cheeks, a little blush. So nonetheless, I have no blush on this brush. So nonetheless, my father was raised. My father is Nevisian. So big up to all St. Kitts Nevis Massive. I'm in the house. This is your girl, daughter of Nevis. Yes. Yes. So I think that's the most amount of makeup I'm gonna put on today. I have on lipstick. Oh, you want me to use lipstick for the blush? I don't want to use lipstick for my blush. Should I? No, because you can never get it on just right. You can never get it on just right when you use the lipstick. I think this is okay. You will. No, I want to find my blush. I don't want to use lipstick, but I can't find my blush. I cannot find my blush, my blush. My rouge and blush mixed together is called blush. Oh, here it is. It's right. Okay, right here. I found it. Let me just get a little bit of blush on the cheeks. Bring up that Merry Saint Nick look. I want to Santa's help us today. Okay, here. Look. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh yes, look at that. Like on a cold winter morn with the vixen comes out to play. Oh, look at the warmth is rushing to my cheeks. Young winter maiden coming out into the snow. Okay. So my father was raised in a different environment, and things were different for my father. His perspective was different. What he thought was possible was different. The level of encouragement into endeavors was different. My mother felt that there were many things that weren't possible. And my father thought that there were many things that were. I became an entrepreneur at the age of 13. And I carved out my own path for myself. And part of the reason that I was able to carve out that path is because my parents had two very different perspectives, and it made me wonder as a child, what is the truth? He feels this way, she feels that way. What is the truth? But if I had been raised in a household where there was only one perspective, I would have thought that that was the truth. I probably wouldn't have even questioned it. Just like those children who went into the room and began to beat the dummy. They never even questioned it. They saw both of their parents participating in an activity. And so they said, oh, well, this is what you do. This is how you act. This is how you treat this dummy. And so when the children went in, they mimicked the parents' behavior because that is what they knew. That is what they had been shown. So we have to give, listen, Caribbean people, South American Blacks, African Blacks, your shit does not stink. Look, Black people were conquered all over the world, and we each have remnants of that colonization. In the Americas, the situation was unique because we lived on the land with these barbarians, outnumbered by them. In other countries, you can say that it could be worse because you outnumbered these people who came in and still dominated. So what is it that they use? They use a lot of psychological tricks to dominate on a land where they were outnumbered. Even to this day, there are African artifacts that England will not return to its rightful country because England stole them when they went through their pillaging and killing. Like, watch that documentary. England is barbaric. And they want to call other people savages, but they are the true savages. They want to call others savages. But it is them who are the savages, barbarians, godless demons, demonic humans, just godless, right? And so Even to this day, England had, and people are sitting, walking by these museums with England and their stolen artifacts. African countries are still sitting by there and they have not sent an army to go get their artifacts back. So this is, so don't act like your shit does not stink because people have convinced you that African Americans are these lazy, this, that, and the other. You've been lied to. This is a part of the colonizers' teaching. African Americans are your ancestors, or your, what do you call a person who is, what ancestors are behind? What do you call the people who are forward? But that's what African Americans are. They're children of your forefathers, children of stolen Africans. So there's no difference between us. And the only difference is that some of us were trafficked and some of us were not. Imagine your child being trafficked, and then years later, you're like, "What's wrong with you?" You imagine selling your child into enslavement, and you're like, "Ugh, what's wrong with you? Why can't you?" And they were born into that brine. It just doesn't make any sense. We have to realize that the true enemy is the colonizers' teaching. The true enemy is the insidious behavior of the colonizer. So no, forefathers are behind. Forefathers are behind. Zatanna is saying making fun of ADOS for not knowing their ancestry is basically victim blaming. I mean, go over to the post. You will see this guy. I believe his name is Anthony or something like that. He's a Nigerian dude and he's mocking African Americans for not knowing their lineage. And I'm like, you do realize that that's dumb, right? I haven't been able to get back up on his comments because I'm busy. But descendants, thank you. So we got it. Tara, Harriet, yes, descendants. We are your descendants. Another person who got it is Ariel. We got Tawana, who also, and we got Fumi. Hey, Fumi, how you doing? I love your picture. And so yes, Jazai. So yeah, so that's the word I was looking for. We are their descendants. So Best Self also got that. So I'm trying to put up as many of these as I can, but they go back a while. So if I don't get yours, just know that I do appreciate. We are their descendants. And so how do you mock your children of your children? How do you mock them? And Annette is saying, oh, wow, first the AA women attacked the AA men and vice versa. Then they blame the whites, rightly so. And now it's the Africans' fault. This ridiculous. Sorry, but you are playing victim here. And this is the ignorance of this person's comment, like where she's like, her name is World Views. You apparently don't have a very worldly view if you can't have empathy. People who are mentally enslaved, people who have colonized minds like you, they don't realize that their mind is colonized. They don't realize that they've been programmed and that programming is by design. Person like me, I've traveled all over the world and I've had a chance to see. I think I've been to more than 30 countries. I've traveled through Africa, South America, Asia, Central America, Latin America, Mexico, and the Americas. I think that's it. I have not been to Oceania yet. One day. I haven't been to Antarctica, but I've been to a lot of places and I've got a chance to meet a lot of different people and talk with people. And one of the things that we can employ is empathy, realizing that a person who was raised different, and is it the Africans' fault that Africans were trafficked into enslavement? I mean, Africans participated in the selling of their people and the kidnapping of their people, the trafficking of their people into European hands. When the Europeans came over with their, what was the Maxim gun? Look at the documentary. When the Europeans came over with their Maxim gun, it was Africans who fought on their side to slaughter. They had a gun that would shoot 170 bullets per minute. And there were kings that rose up against the Europeans. There were Africans that led them through the land with their Maxim guns, chopping through Black people, chopping through Africans. We're not talking about two different people here. We're talking about the same people. If you look at me, you see a person of Igbo descent. Look at my cheeks. Look at my facial structure. You see that I am Igbo. You see my father, you see an Igbo man. I went to Anambra and I saw men who look like my uncles. My father's from an island called Nevis. There were Igbos that were trafficked. Nevis was populated by trafficked Igbos. My father is genetically Igbo. That makes me half Igbo. Or genetically half Igbo. We're not talking about different people. We're talking about Africans who were in America. It's like you hear the word over and over again, African American, but you don't realize these are Africans who are here. There are many people who will say, oh, Black people were here. And if you read Ivan Van Sertima's book, They Came Before Columbus. Yes, Africans were on this land before Columbus came. The majority, so there are people who their theory is, I guess to make themselves feel better, oh, Europeans really didn't have the ability to navigate the seas, that they came over to the Americas and there were already African people here and they enslaved the African people, right? Now, look, we can do some research and see what is what. Are there bodies on the ocean ground? Are there skulls? Are there bones down there that are the descendants of Africans? There were millions of people who died in the voyage, right? Then we have the theory that Africans were trafficked. We see what happened in Africa. Either way, when you do the DNA, when you do the genealogy of a person who is native to the Americas, and you do the genealogy of an African American, and you see that there is the DNA of Nigeria in most African Americans, right? You wonder, how did Nigeria get over here to the Americas? Why is it that we don't know our native tongue? And I think it's important for people on both sides to see what happened in Africa, what happened in America, and how did we end up where it is that we are today? Most of us have been schooled in the schools of the oppressor, and the oppressor is not going to teach how they oppressed. Think about it. Think about it. They're not going to teach themselves in an unfavorable light. So they're going to teach about how this white is right, or the Europeans didn't do anything wrong, and all this and the other. They're going to teach that. They're not going to teach. And so Free to Be Happy is saying, if any Africans are in the USA, they better put some respect on our name. Without ADOS, they couldn't come here with the civil rights our people fought for in this country. Where is the lie? There is no lie there. There is no lie there. African Americans made it possible. African Americans made it possible for Black people from other nations. African Americans, listen, the wealth stolen out of Africa built Europe. All of those roads and all of those buildings and all of the poshness that you see in the UK was stolen from the resources in Africa. This world right now cannot stand without the resources that are still being pilfered from Africa. They can't. The ingredients in our phones, or the components of our phones, come from natural resources in Africa. We would have no cell phones. We would have no lights. We would have no a lot of the things that we enjoy right now. We would just not have, right? Including her peoples. In the Americas, in the United States, African Americans fought very hard against the oppressors here, died, rebelled, were slaughtered, gunned down, and continued the civil rights movement and the marching. And you, like Africans, you wouldn't want to come over here in pre-civil rights America. We have terrorists in this country, and you see the terrorists even to this day going and vandalizing Black churches, ripping down Black Lives Matter signs, and just acting ridiculous, walking around in the streets, stabbing and shooting protesters and telling these lies about what's really happening at the protests, right? So this country would not be palatable. We created the foundation, and there are some African Americans who are awake, but for the most part, African Americans are asleep. But the ones who have woken up to a certain point have paved the way for people from other lands to be able to come here. It is because of African Americans that you niggas is not still getting lynched in the goddamn street. All right? Because you wouldn't even be able to get over here. They would send your Black ass back at the fucking airport. They'd be like, we don't want no African niggas here. But there are many African people who are used as pawns to be able to pit against African Americans, where they're like, because there are people, like I showed that video the other day of the Black guy, right? And he was with some white girl. You know what? I'll show it right now, as a matter of fact. Let me cue it up for you all. I just want you all to see this real quick, right? I just want you all to see. So that you could see, because I want you, we're going to take a survey on this real quick. We're going to take a survey. Let me get my headphones in. So get ready to watch this video. It's a very short video, about 16 seconds, right? I just want you all to see this. For those of you all who didn't see my other video where we showed this already, I will show it again, right? Okay, here we go. All right. Here we go.
The only N-word I call my boyfriend is nice. I love you, my nigga.
Okay, and you hear him laughing at the end. We'll play that again for you in case you didn't hear it the first time.
The only N-word I call my boyfriend is nice. I love you, my nigga.
All right. So you hear that, right? You hear that, right? Let's take a survey. If you think that he is a non-American Black, put up the number 1. If you think that he is a Black person from America, put up the number 2. If you think that he is non-African American, let's say from Africa, the Caribbean, I get the sense that he's African, right? That's what I get the sense of. That's just me. I'm answering my own survey, but I want you to answer for yourselves. If you get the sense that he is a non-American Black, put up the number 1. If you think that he is an American Black, put up the number 2. Let's see. So the numbers are coming in. So if you think he's African American, put up the number 2. If you think that he is African or from the diaspora, put up the number 1. So we have the numbers coming in, and the numbers are really kind of all over the place, right? There's so many numbers. I'm going to try to catch them. Ori says 1. We got 1 here. We got 2. So 2 is African American. And so these are the numbers, right? So there are a lot of people who feel that he is African American, and there are a lot of people who feel that he is a non-American Black. Personally, I feel he is a non-American Black, right? And I mean, there's something about his laugh that just sounds Nigerian to me, or Ghanaian, right? That's me. You all could hear something different, right? So this is the type of thing that happens. So look, the numbers are really kind of all over the place. You all 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, right? So what ends up happening, right, Oh, so a comment came up, but the comments are coming in so quickly that I cannot see them all. Right? All right. So what ends up happening is a lot of African people and Caribbean people are used by the supremacist system to further victimize African Americans. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. Many of you are used and you're being used by the oppressor. And what ends up happening is they don't really have a connection to the N word, right? They don't have a connection to the N word. So they don't have any type of, they've never been called a nigger with the hard R. And if they don't know what it is. Like people say a word like akata, and that means nothing to me. I have no connection to it. I have no misfeelings about it, nothing. It doesn't feel like anything. There are, I forget the name. In South Africa, there's a word that they call Black people, a derogatory word. I don't have any connection to this word. I don't even remember the word, and I've heard it several times. Some of you out there may know it. So there's a word that Black people are called, a derogatory word Black people are called in South Africa, which I have no connection to. It doesn't mean anything to me. And so what ends up happening is people who don't have that same pain are then brought over, and they're brought over into allegiance with people who have used these words and used tactics to be able to subjugate other people, right? And they end up being used as pawns and as tools, right? Like I remember when I was in Nigeria. Now the situation is dire in Nigeria for the average Nigerian. The situation is dire. The average Nigerian cannot get out of their situation. The average Nigerian cannot see a way out of their poverty, right? When I went over to Nigeria, there were people who treated me different because I'm African American, because I have a different accent or an American accent or whatnot. I was treated different. And there were things that people told me because I'm African American, and there were circles that I was allowed into and contacts that I was given basically because of who it is that I am. It's like I didn't even realize how special it was until I spoke to one of my Nigerian colleagues, and he was like, "Oh, it's a dream of mine to make it to Banana Island." I was on Banana Island within 3 weeks of coming into Nigeria. He'd been in Nigeria his whole life, and I've never been there. So it's like different people come from different places, and they're given preferential treatment. They're spoken to in a different way. They're told that they're different because of XYZ. Like somebody told me, like, how they have all the rumor that African Americans are lazy. I met a person in Nigeria who was telling me that Nigerians are lazy. And that because I am from America, I have the hustler spirit and how I could become wealthy in Nigeria. And they were actually giving me tips for how to make money in Nigeria. And they were like, "Oh, this average Nigerian, talk to the average Nigerian. They don't want anything more than what it is that they have. They stay in their situation. They don't even," and they were just they were saying these things about Nigerians. And I was like, yeah, but a person is born into this system. So in the same way that an African or Caribbean person, and I'm saying this as a Caribbean American person, because I've heard conversations in the Caribbean about Americans. I've heard conversation in America about the Caribbean. I've heard them in Africa about Americans, and I've heard them in America about Africans. And meanwhile, it's like all of us niggas is separated. And somebody is asking me why I'm using the N word, because I feel the pain and the connection to it, and I don't use it as I use it as a word for impact. Yes. And you see, I got you talking because apparently it lands and it has impact. So yes. So it's like the joke is on us, and we really need to open up our eyes and wake the F up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up and Wake up. Just wake up. All right. So there's a lot of comments coming in. Nobody Wins is saying stereotype is all over the world. It's crazy, not just here. Thing about is America Black community as self-hate, trend a topic, topic in the convo, damn shame. And then Tiffany is saying we will never be lazy. Our ancestors survived slavery, civil rights. We made a way for other countries to come here. There are some African Americans who are lazy. There are some Africans who are lazy. You know, the issue becomes when we start becoming agents for the misinformation, when we become agents for the oppressor. Harriet is saying, I agree with you on other groups are being used to stop African American progress. For example, Filipinos, Latinos, Haitians, Mexicans, also Middle Easterners. I mean, there's a lot going on. And you know, the crazy part about it is this, right? Listen to this. Listen to this. You know, when they created call centers, the first place that they sent the call centers was India, then Philippines, then Costa Rica. And they just recently started opening up call centers in the Caribbean. And I remember when I spoke to my first Jamaican customer service agent, and I was like, wow, I thought to myself, because you know what? I have a friend who's a business owner. I had a friend who's a business owner. And he was like, listen, when I do customer service, I'm going to send my customer service agents, I'm going to have them be in the Caribbean. They're native English speakers. Imagine that you would send your customer service way, way, way overseas to people who are non-native English speakers, who have completely otherworldly customs and cultures and different ways of handling customer service, rather than just right here, a hop and a skip away from Miami, where there are people who are native English speakers who have come into contact with more Americans than people in other areas. And it makes sense. It would have made sense, but instead they sent the customer service overseas, way, way, way overseas. Meanwhile, I think how much is an EC dollar now? I don't know how much an EC dollar is now, but back when in 2000 and when I was last in the Caribbean, 2011, it was about $3. 3 EC dollars was a US dollar, something along those lines, right? And Anvo is saying 80% of Black doctors in America are Nigerian. Please put up your stats for where you're getting those numbers. And then also, we have to ask ourselves, what is truly different about a Black person coming from Nigeria and becoming educated in this country and a Black person who's already in this country? We have to ask ourselves, what sicknesses is it that exist in this country? What pathologies exist that have perpetuated what has happened to Africans? This is the real question that we need to ask. And I don't think a lot of Africans even think about this. We need to ask, what has happened to Nigerians in America that they are, how do I put this? Because most African Americans are Nigerian. So what has happened to the Nigerians who were born on this land, who are the African Americans? What has happened to these Nigerians that is so different from the Nigerians who are in Nigeria? What is it that Nigerians have had to endure on this soil? I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot, and I wasn't really coming on here to do all of this damn talking, because I have a lot of people who act like they don't want to fucking get it. If you choose that you don't want to fucking get it, by all means, go off and do whatever it is that you think makes you feel good. Because there are people who want to justify, just like white people, who perpetuate racism. Because if they don't continue to perpetuate racism, what does it say about them? If African Americans are truly not lazy, if they are truly, reflective of the circumstance in which they were born and raised, what does that say about white people? What does it say about the majority people in this country? You know, it's like people don't want to accept the culpability for how they participate in a system. And so they want to make themselves feel better by being like, yeah, there's something wrong with you niggas. That's why you niggas are in this situation, because you're lazy, you're violent, you're thugs, you don't want better. Because if you wanted better, you would have better. But since you don't have better, it's your fault. And it's another way of continuing to victimize a person who has already been victimized. But we need to ask ourselves, what has happened to your Nigerian descendants that they now translate into the violence that we see, the dysfunction that we see in Black neighborhoods? What has America done to Nigerians that now you see the descendants of Nigerians are behaving the ways that they are? It's like we need to realize that we are one people. And I think that when we start realizing that we are one people, I think that some empathy can be given, because it's like, okay, this person, show your stats that 80% of the Black doctors in this country are Nigerians. Say that. Show your stats, because we can also show the stats that 90% of the Nigerians who are descendants of Nigeria, 90% of the Nigerians in this country are experiencing tremendous hardship. So we have Nigerians who have been raised under British rule and colonization and whatever it is that they went through to get out of that to come here. And we have Nigerians that were born on this soil. We're talking about flesh of your flesh, who were born on this soil. What is it that America has done to Nigerians to turn them into the average African American that you see today? And that's the real question. And so for those of you who act like you don't want to fucking get it, just don't get it then. Just do whatever it is that you feel, that helps you sleep at night, so that your Black ass could pretend as if you are not culpable. So just go ahead and do that. Just do that. All right. So listen, on that note, this dress was a turtleneck and I cut it, and I feel like I have to cut it again to get the little fragments off of there, because it's peeling up. So I probably need to go and do that to get my scoop neck even, because it's peeling up, and because the threads are coming out, I need to do something different. All right. And Fumilayo is saying it's quite hard for the honest Nigerian to thrive. Corruption is the order of the day back home. And you know what? Unfortunately, it truly is. And we saw during the SARS protest. And you know what? And I was so happy to see the protests rise up. And this is why I say that Africans and African Americans really need to come together in unions so that we can become better on both sides. Free to be happy. I'm going to implore you to not call these human beings slaved, but enslaved people. Because when we say slaves, we remove their humanity. So I'll read your comment. She says, in America, this is the only country where enslaved people weren't allowed to keep anything African, nothing. No one gets this. Yeah. And so Marie James says, we can show the percent of Black American women business owners and the Black American women that are the most educated. Yes, we can show that. But then we can also look at the stats that even though, with all of that being said, Black men on average still out-earn Black women. So just look at the census. I don't know if this is because, and this is why, because so when we looked at the average, right? But I would really like to look at the median, because median is different than average, because average averages the millionaires and the poor people and put them all together. But median takes the numbers in the middle. And so, yeah, so I would like to see some of those and see. Nobody is saying Nigerian people act a certain way because of the stereotypes and the harsh ways they get treated. It's just how they get welcomed. They have a different character, not all of the same way. I don't understand what that means. All right. Use a fray block. Ari is saying, don't cut it. Well, I don't know what to do. Help me. What should I don't know what to do, because it's coming apart. The seam is coming apart and it doesn't look good when I bend it under. So I'm thinking if I did it all the way to the end, it would just be boat neck. You see, if I did it all the way to the end, that doesn't look bad. It would just be boat neck. Instead of scoop neck, it would be boat neck. And I like boat neck. I do like it with some of the shoulder covered, but this is how it would look. Because I want to do my video now and I don't want to get caught up. So it would look like that. and without the, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I really do think I'm going to cut it because I just want to be done with the phrase. I have not read the book from Dr. Joy. Sew it, don't cut it. Do I want to sew it? Okay, let me see. Should I sew it? Elizabeth Home is saying, Africans and Caribbeans tried to work with AA all the time, but AA always declined. From my experiences, the welfare system has definitely destroyed the AA community. I think that one of the things that you need to realize is that African Americans are not a monolith. All right, I'm going to stitch it down. I'll take it off and I'll stitch it. I'll do that then. I'll do that because I like this swoop. I do. It probably could stand to get cut down a little bit more. No, that's cool in the back. I just have to get rid of that. So I'll sew it. I'll take it off and sew it. You know what? As a matter of fact, I can do that now. Give me 1 second. Let me switch out my dresses. Okay. So and Lead says, that's not true. I've been at Nigerian parties and they told me they don't care to hang around Black people. It was the strangest thing to hear. Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation, disinformation, and division that is sown all around the world. It's very strange. Lioness Ma is saying the conversation concerning all the division needs to be had. Then we will all realize who is the cause of it. Exactly. Look, the Europeans are just laughing to the bank while we stay separated. The Europeans are laughing their way to the doggone bank while we sitting here disrespecting and fighting with one another. It's very strange. You're right. And Mara is saying, Caribbean people that were born in the States seem to be a good bridge for these combos. Yeah. And somebody is saying that color looks very good on you. Wear more colors in your lives. No, I don't do it. And I don't do it because I do not want to distract people. This is why I wear a black dress uniform in most of my videos. Because people get distracted. They like to look at women and comment on our clothes and hair and all this other stuff. So sometimes I don't wear makeup. And sometimes I just don't even, and for the most part, I just wear a very nondescript black dress. It's as simple as that because I don't want people commenting on my appearance. So here we go. Miriam is saying, my father was from South Africa, Johannesburg. I can't see. Hold on. I can't see. I still can't see. All right. My father was from South Africa, Johannesburg. He came here with the AME church. My mother was from Mississippi. My father didn't want to go back because of myself and my sisters. He let me know back then that he wanted me and my sister to be able to be educated. Then a Black woman could only get an 8th grade education, but he wanted all his children to be educated as far as we wished. I love both mom and dad, but it wasn't until 10 years after his death that I understood why. That you understood why what? I that was lost on me. You understood why? Maybe it just stopped your comment. And so Yeah, so this is so yeah, so I know I look better with brighter colors. And when I do my news broadcast, when I'm invited on the news, I wear my bright colors. But when I'm doing YouTube videos, I don't do it. I don't do it because of all of the because of all of the because of all of the whatchamacallit. I'm trying to get this. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Don't worry. Oh, my antlers are off. I'm shaking my head and there's no jingle. Bill Gates is saying African Americans are still the majority among Black doctors in the United States. HBCUs, in particular, Howard University produces the most African American doctors and in Black doctors in the US. Yeah, so it's like when people give you stats, ask for the links or the source. So please, so like the person who said 90% of doctors are from Nigeria, by all means provide a source for your information. I'm just sewing you all. I'm just sewing it up. I'm sewing it by hand because it's just easy to just get it done with hand. And Kay is saying, thank you, Tanya, for telling the truth. I thought this was all in my head. And Comfort is saying, I don't mean colonize, I mean dominate and be a better group of people than they ever were to us. I'm not for colonization. Yeah. And so Reef is saying, now I'll read it in 1 second. I just want to get this needle through. Give me 1 second. I just want to sew up the edges so that we don't have any more pulled through frays. I hope that this works. And thank you all, because I really didn't want to cut it, but I really was going to cut it after I got off this broadcast. All right, give me just 1 second. I can't read while I'm looking down sewing. All right, I have Caribbean and friends from all over the continent of Africa. Even when I went to Howard University, I connected with Black people from everywhere, but I'm a 90s kid, so different gen. Okay. All right. And Harriet is saying Native Africans are afraid of Black Americans. I'm not sure, but I think they feel we can't be trusted and are tainted by slavery. I get it, but they fail to understand our honor that AAs are the truest of survivors of the ruthless system and we still thrive. They should also embrace and reteach us as one. You need to understand. Go watch that documentary, Making of an African Colony, because the average Nigerian doesn't even realize that they need some reteaching. The average Nigerian is like, oh, we are so strong. We're not like those African Americans who were enslaved. Our ancestors are tough. And then I saw Making of an African Colony and I was like, you were colonized on your own land. And you allowed these men to come in there, kill your women, slaughter them, mow them down in the streets, and to come and teach your children. And you still over here talking about you stronger than other people. Let's just call a spade a spade. We suffered some tremendous travesties all over the world. Let's just speak on that. That looks good. I hope it stays good. Let me just, oh, my eye is watering. I gotta fix that. All right, so let's see. Dahlia is saying, I couldn't. And so Loot is saying they did not necessarily sold you. The man were gullible and send their overseas to work. Unfortunately, that has been disproven. They knew that African people were being abused even before they left the continent. Remember, these people were able to set up these dungeons right on the coasts in many African nations. So they saw the African people being abused with piercings through their lips, being pulled like cattle. They saw it on their own land. They saw it, and it continued. The name of the documentary is Making of an African Colony. It's on Netflix. All right. There are many castles, not just the Cape Coast ones. I see some of your comments. Okay, they were stupid. That's even worse. The argument is worse. I don't know if you could talking about the argument I'm making, because I'm not calling people stupid. There were a lot of things that contributed to how we got here. And all I'm saying is, let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look at the bigger picture and let's have compassion for what happened on both sides. And we need to extend a level of compassion to today's Nigerian, because today's Nigerian doesn't even realize that they've been the victim of something terrible. They don't even realize. They don't realize that they've been the victim, which is like in America here, it was very descript. You knew that something terrible was happening. There was no mistaking it. In Nigeria and other African countries, it wasn't really so cut and dry. You didn't really know. There's still people who feel that the colonizing quote unquote fathers were trying to help. I mean, you saw that video that I did when I was in Lagos last year with a guy who was like, the problem is that the colonizers left too soon because Africans don't know how to govern on their own. You remember that? And he thought he called himself a freedom fighter. So in his mind, he's a freedom fighter, but he's still worshiping the white man. The videos, or if you go to YouTube, I have a playlist. I'm just threading up a new needle right now to do the other side. So I have a playlist on YouTube called, I don't remember what it's called, but it has all of the videos that I took in Nigeria, where I was in Lekki, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Anambra State, Igbo Land, Owerri. So I was all over. Oh, Abuja. I was everywhere. And the videos are there. You could take a look at the videos and go from there. I don't know how this whole conversation switched into a conversation about Africa and Americans. I don't know, how did this happen? We were supposed to be just shooting the breeze, and now we got into a very heavy conversation. I was just talking with one of my Nigerian colleagues this morning, and he was saying up in the north, so northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria, first of all, the word Nigeria came from other people naming it, and it's not a complimentary name. The N word is in the name of Nigeria. So you need to watch this documentary. So somebody who's asking me, why am I using the N word? Why are you calling yourself Nigerian? Why are you calling yourself Nigerian? The N word is in the name of your country. It's like we need to really, like, my Nevis Massive, we need to go back to calling Nevis Owali and just get our own names back for our countries, because we are using the oppressor's name. Even Nevis. Nevis was named by Christopher Columbus, who came there and said that his dumb white ass saw snow in the mountains of the damn Caribbean. He's so damn stupid. He's down by the damn equator talking about there's snow in the mountains. So he called it Nevis for the snow, Nieves. And it's like, come on, dude. Come on. I just have to trim up my dress a little bit because there's some phrases that are sticking out that just need to be calmed. So it's like, we need to claim back the original, like some of you, like the person who said they're South African. What is the original name of your country? We need to start petitioning, because, like, it's like the longer we just continue, it's like the healing can't begin while we don't acknowledge these things. The healing can't begin when we are pretending that this stuff didn't happen. You know what I mean? While we're looking and blaming other people, like we cannot begin the healing, you know? Oh. So somebody's saying a white South African called them something. What did they call you? I missed it. And you know what? You could probably say it and I'll probably miss it again because I'm not really looking up at the camera. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get this dress together because I really want to do this broadcast while I still have it in me to do the broadcast. Give me just 1 second. Give me just 1 second. So people who are from other countries, what was your country called before the white man gave your country its name? You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. It's like, how do we just like when I went over to Turkey, right? They call their country Turquía. There's an E on the end over there, but we're calling it Turkey. Oh, what did I do with my? I don't know. Oh, here it is. I thought I lost my needle. Mocha is saying, my husband is from Puerto Rico and he re educated me about Christopher Columbus. Yes, I feel you. I spent some time in Puerto Rico after the hurricanes helping out down there. So let's see. Dorian is saying Palestine. Egypt is Musad. Wow. Rhodesia is now Zimbabwe. But then how did the name Rhodesia get there? Because Rhodesia, the way that it's spelled, seems very European, like Rhode Island, you know? Zaire became Congo. Congo was an empire, but we also had Luba. Oh my goodness. So listen, so the north and south of Nigeria were never meant to be combined. They were very separate and still are separate. And white people decided that they were going to combine it into one country, and there's still problems. I was talking to a colleague of mine today who was telling me about how there was some 500 schoolboys kidnapped in the north, just I believe the day before yesterday. Somebody correct my numbers. So 500 were kidnapped, and I believe he said that they got all 500 back. Oh wow. And I'm like, oh, they could find the 500 boys, but when those 600 girls were kidnapped, they couldn't find the girls. This is a travesty. And then those girls, it's like by the time they did find them, they were in Stockholm syndrome now at this point, and they were assaulted over and over and over by their kidnappers, and some of them even had babies. So it's like, what do you do now? You have your little princess in school, and then your princess get kidnapped, and then you find them 3 years later and they got 2 kids from an assaulter. So it's like, what do you do at that point? How do you regain your family? But they found those boys because those boys were going to have guns put in their hands and turned into killers. But now I don't know. I need somebody to educate me on this because I have some feelings about this that I'm not happy about how that went down. I'm not happy about how those girls were stolen and never returned, and then were constantly over and over and over again assaulted over and over and over again until they became pregnant and gave birth. And now you got little young mothers. Awful, 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 awful. I have some Nigerian people on this broadcast. How many of you watch Sons of the Caliphate on Netflix? It's a soap opera that it's in I believe is it in the north or is it Abuja? Because the hats and the abayas that they wear are different up there. where they're at for that documentary, or not documentary. It's a soap opera with all of this drama, and it's a lot going on. Women who are not religious and how they're treated and how they have intercourse and just who they want to marry. It's crazy. How many of you watch Sons of the Caliphate? If you watch Sons of the Caliphate, put up a 3. I want to see. so So I want to see. So Fumi is saying many Nigerians feel the same way, at least in the South. Buffering, the world is too much for me. Oh, wow. Yeah, if it's buffering, just give it a few moments. It comes out because I'm connected to the landline, so it shouldn't buffer too bad. So Fruit Cocktail watches Sons of the Caliphate. Isn't that crazy? All of them men are fine, though. Well, most of them. And Valerie's saying this is exactly how we became slaves. Don't use the word slave because there's no such thing as a slave. These were humans who were enslaved. And I think that we have to get out of not seeing them as human. Okay. All right. Listen, I don't know why they call this soap opera Sons of the Caliphate. The word caliphate just sounds so dangerous, doesn't it? But that's the documentary right there. That's the documentary. Not that I'm not calling this is a soap opera. It's a drama, not a documentary. There's nothing real about this. Well, there could be some things that are real, but real drama. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see. All right. Okay, so my dress is sewn. So let's take a look and see how it turned out. Oh. Let's see how it turned out. So Annette is saying they found them quicker this time because of better intelligence. They learned from the first experience is what I think. Listen, I heard that they knew where those girls were the very first time. You know what I'm saying? I heard they knew where they were. I heard they knew where they were. That's what I heard. They knew. They knew. I heard they knew. So, oh, goodness. Better intelligence, please. I heard they knew where those girls were and that they just didn't want to cause an uproar. You know what I'm saying? That they were like, oh, it's too late. I mean, because after 24 hours with a girl being in these men's custody, what do you think happened to them? Like even when you heard Good Luck speaking, he just it didn't even look like he was really interested in finding them. I'm glad they voted him out. Okay, so now let's see what we're working with here. Oh, let's see how we got this going. All right, let's see. Okay, so the ends are closed up. Let me pull my straps down. Okay, that looks good, right? Okay, I like it. I like it. All right. Okay. Thank you all for the inspiration. I like it. I like it, so it looks good. Get my antlers back. Okay. Santa's helper is back. All right, so we're looking good. All right, so I'm happy that you all inspired me to do that. All right, let me just blow my nose real quick. And listen, we're going to be making a video on YouTube as soon as I get off of here. Okay. All right, wonderful. I still feel like I don't know, I feel like the sleeve, you see this? I don't even know how to get rid of like this. If I pull it up, okay, but then it becomes baggy right here. Oh, I don't even know. All right. An actress is saying, I am the white woman. Oh my God, I'm white, I'm white, I'm white. Are you okay over there, dear? You need an intervention? Oh, goodness. All right, you listen. See, the sleeve area just is not, oh, it's not hitting. This is the best that it's going to be. Oh, that person is trolling. I'll just block them. Since you all say the person's trolling, they're blocked now. Got no time for the foolishness. All right. Okay, so listen. So we are done here on this video. I'm getting ready to record a video on my main channel. So as soon as I get off of here, I'm going to go make myself something to drink. And then I'm going to head over and make a video on YouTube. We're going to be talking about, remember the video with Kevin Samuels? So there's a young lady by the name of the Pink Pill on YouTube. And she made a video with a man who makes more than I think his net worth is $8 million. And he was reviewing that video and giving his opinion on what he feels that a woman who looks like her can get, etc., and what real millionaires are like, etc. So we're going to help her video get some more views and bring more awareness to it. And so that's what we're going to do. The channel name is, I'll put it in the comments. It is www. My stomach is empty because I'm still fasting for the morning. It's still early. I don't typically eat till like 1, 2 o'clock if I'm not really hungry. So it's www.youtube.com/Tanya TKO. That's the show right there. That's the page. So that's the live channel right there. And we are going to be going live on that channel. And so just come over. You could be a part of the conversation because that's the channel that I use to pull comments into the videos that I make. All right. And T. Kelly is saying, I was one with a black doctor on the pink pill. I like that one better. I don't understand, T. Kelly. I don't understand the comment. And Ori is saying, there are about 3 videos of real millionaires denying Kevin's coaching. Honey, okay. Email me, go through your YouTube history, email me the links to these videos because I want to, let me review them real quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to review those videos before I make my video. I didn't know that there were more. I only knew about the pink pills. But if you're saying that there are 3 of them, by all means, come to my website, tanyatko.com, click on contact. I'll put the link down here, www.tanyatko.com/contact. And send me the links so that I could review them real quick, because there are so many misguided people out there who think that what Kevin is saying is real, and they don't know what it's like to really, truly be wealthy, right? Thank you, Ori. Good morning to you all. You're welcome. Coming in late. And Zoomification is saying Crystalline did 2 of them. No, she did 1 with a 7-figure guy. The next one was a 6-figure guy, the black dude. I think he's a real estate dude or something like that. He was 6-figure, I believe. So I know she did 2 videos of the refutation, but send me the links. Guyanese doll is saying, oh, am I mushing them all together? I don't know. Guyanese Doll is saying real high value people and millionaires have no time for YouTube. That is, honey, that's not true, because there are millionaires on YouTube. And the person that she was, the seven-figure guy, is actually a podcaster. So there are people, look, if you knew what some of these, like these channels that do gossip and stuff like that, like, okay, so I'll tell you this. If you see a channel that is getting 500,000 views per video, that person is a millionaire. Let's see. A person who is getting about 500,000 views per video, depending on how often they make videos, they are making about anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a month. Anywhere from 50, 70, $100,000 a month. So when you start, let's do the math on that. Because when you start making, let's see how much money you need to make per month in order to be a millionaire. So we're going to get the calculator out. And we're going to do 1,000,000. That's 1 million, right? That's 1 million right there. And so we're going to divide this by 12 equals 83. Okay, so you need to make $83,000 a month to be a millionaire, and there are YouTubers clearing that very easily. I don't do that. I'm not doing that yet. But YouTube hasn't really been on, like, the content creators who have longer form content. YouTube is not really on our side. But one of the things that I will tell you is, since I've been uploading, it's weird. Since I've been uploading videos almost every day on the Tanya TKO live channel, the videos are increasing in views. So like before I started doing it, almost every day I was getting about 2,000 views per video. And now I'm getting like 10,000 views per video. And with the 10,000 views, I'm clear. My check this month is like around $2,000. Not anything to write home about. But so if I'm getting 10,000 and the check is like 2,000 a month, it's 2,000 for the month. If I was getting 100,000, that would be 20,000. And then if I was getting, wow, if I was getting 2 million, that would mean that it would be $200,000 for the month. If every video was getting $2 million, it would be 200. Oh, wow. I don't know. I think my numbers might be off, because that sounds astronomical. But I have spoken with YouTubers who are making $70,000 every single month. And because I didn't even know that it was possible. Remember when we were talking about the parents and stuff like that? Like, I make videos on YouTube. I make my videos, I put them up, this, that, and other. I like my YouTube channel brings in a few $100s a month. YouTube is not my main source of income. That's why I started cursing in my videos. And I don't care. I just make my videos, right? But so I just make my videos. I didn't even think about it. But then I spoke to a YouTuber, and she was telling me that she was clearing $75,000, anywhere from $20,000 to $75,000 every single month. And I was like, I told my father this, and my father was like, well, anybody can say anything. And I told her my father said that. She sent me screenshots of her panel, and yeah, she was making that money. And so, yes, there's money out there to be made. So, oh, yes, there are YouTubers who are millionaires. I think that, there's different types of people, because after Crystalline did that video, I was like, okay, well, you know what? Let me talk to some of the wealthy people in my network. Let me bring them on. But they just were not, they're private. They're private people. They're not online personalities. Like the type of person who can sit here for an hour and a half, like we've been sitting here, and talk and talk and talk nonstop. They're different. Not everybody has the ability to do what it is that I do. Not everybody is engaging like I am. Not everybody has the it factor. And I'm not trying to boast about myself, but there's obviously something about my delivery that keeps people enwrapped and engaged in my videos despite the length. So I know people see the length of my videos and they're like, I'm not even going to click it, because I know if I click this, I'm going to get reeled in and I won't be able to get out. I'm magnetic. I'm like that magnet. You feel that pull. You can't stop yourself, and that pull just get into you. Boom. and you're stuck. Somebody has to pry you away. This is why people are on my channel and they're like, "Hey, I can't stand your videos, Tanya." But they can't get away. And sometimes I have to block them because they're just like homeboy yesterday. He's so happy with his Caucasoid wife and his 2 biracial children, but yet he cannot peel himself away from the Black woman's page. It's very interesting. All of that is a lot to say. Listen. So yeah, so I'm actually going to be doing a lot of collaborations. Oh my goodness! Crystalline is on the channel. Hey, Chris, I'm getting ready to pull forth your. I said I was gonna do it the other day, but I've been so wrapped up behind the scenes. I want to get your video some more views, the one with Jordan. And so, hey, how you doing? Respond to my email. I'm going to be doing a lot of collaborations. I have one coming up with Shira. We're going to be doing a giveaway. Shira 7. We're going to be doing a giveaway. So we're going to be doing a giveaway and having a quiz with a giveaway as the prize for the people who answer. And so listen, support Black female, support YouTube content creators who are supporting you. You know, support it's watch this entertainment. I don't even watch TV anymore. And now that I realized that you could put YouTube videos on the TV, it's a wrap for network. It's a wrap. I don't know what they're going to do now. I don't know how they're going to bring us back. I don't know how they're going to bring us back. So, all right. So, yes. So, listen. So, I'm going to, so listen, Crystalline, do you know about the other, so there's a person in the comments named Ori who was saying that there are 3 millionaires who have come out trying to school Kevin, Kevin Kitten Heels Samuels, I think that's his name. And so I need the links for those other videos because I mean, if the videos are cogent, I want them to be able to get the traction because I feel like there's an awakening afoot. You know what I mean? I feel like there's an awakening afoot. And so Sade is saying, senior citizens keep the cable business booming. Listen, they might do. And Mojo is saying they can't unplug, it's FOMO. Yeah, and they really gonna hate me now that my my iPhone is coming in the mail and I'm about to get on what's this platform? The new platform. I can't remember the name of it. Okay, so you haven't seen them. All right, Ori, send those to me because because I took notes on Crystalline's video to show you all the parts that I feel that you need to see. But please go over and watch her video so that it can get more views so that we can just keep the love flowing. In the middle of the night, Crystalline, in the middle of the night, I was watching a video that Pink Pill put up with this white girl who was talking about this whole Kevin Samuels situation, and the way that she was speaking about it so plainly, it's like, you know, it's like people who feel that I don't know, it's like people, remember we were talking about people who have access and those who don't have access. And there are people who are pretending as if they have access and they're acting like there's something tremendously special about making a certain amount of money. Like yesterday I picked up my nephew, right? And Auntie was on the TV, right? And I realized, so he looked at the TV, right? And he looked at me holding him, right? And he didn't think anything of it. He just saw on the TV there was Auntie on the TV, right? And it's like that when you're in a celebrity household. Not saying that I'm a celebrity, right? But what I'm saying is that when you grow up seeing your parent, your aunt, your sister, your niece, or whatever, whoever on TV, that's just how it is. It's just a matter of fact. When you have money and you're around people with money, it's really just kind of matter of fact. It doesn't, like, I'm not any different than any other person out there. There's just more people who recognize me. There's not anything different about a person who makes a certain amount of money. I mean, there are habits that are different, but when it comes to personality and people, it's like if you saw what the average millionaire was like, you would be like, oh, all this time I thought that there was some great gatekeeper. It's not, they're not, and even if you see their homes are not like ta-da type of homes. It's really like they just have like regular, it depends on the millionaire. There's some people who use their money on different things, but what I'm saying is that these are just regular people. There's no big gate that's like, oh, once you jump onto this side of the gate, you completely change into a different person. It's like you're still the same person that you were. Like me, I'm still the same person, regardless of how many people recognize me or see me on TV. I'm still a human being. I still have my same values and all this other stuff. And it's like it's only these people who don't know what the hell they're talking about, who want to pretend as if there's some gate and they're the gatekeeper. Like he's acting like he's the gatekeeper for what men who make $100,000 a year. And the thing is that it's just in certain circles, that's just normal in certain like $100,000. Like it's we need to, like I said, we're gonna dive into it. We'll dive into it. And Pink Pill is saying they're getting cues from I can't do it. I can't. She says, she says they're getting cues from. I can't. I'm trying to read it. She says they are getting cues from reality TV. These people really have no clue. Like, this is my life. I'm friends with these people. Yes, exactly. It's like, come on. It's like, and you know what the worst part about it is? That these people are misinforming and misleading unsuspecting Black people who don't know any better. So they think, oh, once I become a millionaire or once somebody becomes a millionaire, oh, things are so different. It's not different. Like these people, and it's not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. Delilah is saying, and cognitive dissonance won't allow them to believe it is. Oh my God, these Atlas shakes send me. You're so silly. Oh, goodness. And Black Butterfly is saying 100K isn't squat. I've bought that amount in toilet paper. Girl, what is going on with your ass over there that you need $100,000 worth of toilet paper? It sounds like there's some things happening, sister, that may need to be corrected. Because if you need that, you only need a few sheets. Listen, do I need to redo my feminine bathroom hygiene video so I pull out the roll for you all and show you how you just 1, 2, 3, and then you can fold it. You see how thick that is? You don't need $100,000 worth of Buddha. What's happening? You don't need that. You just I get that. Mojo is saying most don't know the difference between worth / millionaire, etc. cash flow. Someone's worth is not cash on hand. Okay. Nat Turner saying, I have you on my Facebook, but you never talk. And what do you find about NFAC and the movie of Nate Parker, American? I need you all to, because like if you're writing to me, I don't see all comments, but if I do see your comment, you want to represent yourself because these videos will live on forever. And then people be like, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. Oh, okay. So Butterfly is saying, that is so true. My boyfriend is a millionaire and drives an older car and lives in a very modest home that is paid for. Yeah, like you see, the thing is Crystalline is lucky in that she has millionaires in her life who are also engaging on camera, who public speak. Like the people in my life wouldn't come on camera. They wouldn't come on camera because they're real estate millionaires. They make their millions behind the scenes. They're doing things internationally, or they don't want people to know how they navigate. They're just regular people. This is what I'm saying. It's not like a person makes $1 million and then they get some badge and they're like, ta-da, $1 million. That doesn't happen. It's like, it's just a number. The numbers just keep rising and rolling up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like what it is that it's not. So like they like the millionaires in my life drive different types of cars. One drives a Tesla that I was able to drive last year, and the Teslas are not expensive. The insurance is expensive, but I can't even speak. The Tesla was luxury, I tell you. It was luxury. I was just like, and when it started doing its self-driving thing, I was like, yes. I was like, If I didn't live in an RV and need to have a big truck to pull it, I would have me that Tesla, because I was really feeling that. I was really feeling it. Did Budafly ever address why she is spending $100,000 on toilet paper? I need to understand, Buddha, what's going on with you? Did you have to spend that? Taylor is saying 10 sheets if you're on your back. Listen, we have company. You ladies need to be on your best behavior. Unbelievable. All right, so listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go make my oh, hold on. Someone is saying you should vlog and travel around the I should do some COVID vlogging? Honey, let's stop this. Let's stop this. Are you talking about, so I'm not in my RV right now. And actually, I might have to do a video about what happened to my RV while it was in storage, because this storage company is trying to shade me. And I'm thinking about asking you all for help in having these owners contact me, because my RV is not safe. I pay every month and my RV is not safe. And a friend of mine went and visited my RV in storage. And what happened to my RV is it brought me to tears. It brought me to tears. So I'm going to have to, I don't know what I'm going to do when I get back to California. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm really still kind of distraught about it. I'm still kind of distraught. Yeah. I know. You know what? I know. And and Stalo is saying, Tanya TKO, we have to stop loving and valuing money like it's flesh and blood. Material wealth is attainable to the Black community, individuals, and families. Yay, listen, who is worshiping money? I don't know what we're talking about right now. Who's worshiping money? I don't know. But money is important. Money is important. Bill Gates is saying, the guy called me Kevin from his channel. He makes $1 million a month in income from YouTube. I don't know. I mean, it could be possible. I don't know. I know I've seen the numbers that I've seen, but that is my perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Listen, money is important. Money is energy. Money is the ability to make moves. So the only people who don't value money are people who don't have them, who don't have it. All right, so listen, I'm going to go make my drink and then I will see you all on YouTube. Make sure that you go over to the YouTube channel. I'm going to be going live on there. I say, give me about half an hour. Give me about half an hour. I just want to rest my voice, make a drink, and then get ready to do the video. Because if I go back to back, then I start feeling tired, you know? So wait, so oh, so Black Budafly is saying it's lawsuit time. I'm suing PS about my storage. They robbed me and don't want to pay up. Okay, you know what? Yeah. Tanya Walker is saying, Black Budafly, you have a royal hiney spending millions on toilet paper. Child, something is going on over there. All right, listen, I'm going to jump out of here. I'm going to jump out of here, and then I'll see you in about half an hour on the YouTube page. So if you can't find the YouTube page, or if you don't see the link, or if you ever forget what the link is, just type Tanya TKO in, and that's Tanya with an O, TONYA TKO. And the live channel has like a pink logo. The TV channel has like a turquoise logo. All right, I will see you all in the next video. I'm tired. I want to get off now. All right. Peace.